It required two things, gumption and like tech know-how, some research. So I looked at what's cost effective. I wanted to save some money, not spend a lot of money on the website. So I used Google Sites, which is free. It was important to also find something that had style options, which Google Sites has. And I also looked at what other playwrights do with their websites.
When I first started creating my website, I knew right off the bat I wanted to use Squarespace because I was familiar with their types of templates. They just have a very minimalist, sleek design that I prefer. But I also thought a little bit about the functionality of my site beforehand because there are some templates on Squarespace that just might not be able to do what you want to do on your site. So once I thought about what my site actually needed and the design component, I went on Squarespace and selected a pre-built template that fit both of those needs for me.
Creating my website required organization. I am a person who procrastinates, and I really needed to organize everything together because I had someone who was designing the website for me. This created a accountability on my part. So my advice is to get your stuff together, get the old shows, get your old reviews, contact actors, ask them if they have pictures from the shows. So if you didn't do the work, maybe your friends did the work. So that's my advice. Don't procrastinate, organize.
I use Google Sites to organize, design my website, and having a background doing some, Zanga MySpace design helped with acclimating to website design. But I think everyone should know it's user-friendly, it shouldn't be intimidating at all, plus it's free. And the only other thing I'll say is self-managing your own website requires you to update your news section, which is how I use my news section on current and upcoming projects.
If you need a website and you do not feel like you can design a website like me, I think the very first thing you should do is tell everyone you know. Eventually somebody will come up with a name, and that's what happened for me. I found a guy who designs websites. He was very kind. He had a meeting with me to find out who I was, what my plays were like, and then he started developing things based on that. Even the colors in the background, he started asking me about, and he made suggestions. The most shocking thing was that it was a real collaborative experience, almost like theater, to work with this guy. He started to suggest wording. He started to suggest the way that the play should go. And in some cases, he even came up with the image that would go next to the play. That was amazing. I don't know if everybody will get something like that, but I got it. And you can make those suggestions to your designer.
I think the primary function of a website really needs to be serving as the biggest, boldest representation of your voice, basically your personality as an artist and the strongest first impression that you can have. And it's also a really good opportunity to leverage SEO. If you don't know what that is, that's search engine optimization. No coding required. It's really just about the language and phrases that are on your website. And if you have strong SEO for your name, for example, you will actually be findable on the internet. And the more findable you are, the easier it is to get your plays out there and the easier it is to network.
Most of the literary managers and agents that I have talked to have told me that a playwright should have a website. And I think we all realize that an actor should have a website, so why not a playwright? And we have the fact that most people are nosy and they want to know about you. They are going to snoop you, so you should decide what they get to see. For instance, in my own website, I have a section where I have the play, and then I have a synopsis of the play. And there is a picture. It's like a thumbnail. And in an instant, that gives the person who is looking at my website an idea of what the play is about instantaneously. It's function and form.
In terms of look and functionality of my site, I knew that there were some important things I wanted people to know about me. Mainly, number one, that I'm a Jersey girl, I'm from New Jersey, and that I have this parallel career in STEM that is really, really meaningful and important to me. So I literally on my hub page of my site, divided those two things about myself into sections. The Jersey section being get the gabagool, because, you know, gabagool, #1 meat in New Jersey besides Taylor ham. Obviously a Sopranos reference as well. And then for my STEM career, I had science, which is also a more kid-friendly reference to Breaking Bad, another one of my favorite shows. And both those sections just dive into what I wanted people to know.
I wanted my website to reflect my personality, a little goofy, fun. And I also wanted an ease of navigation so that it's clear for people to know where things are, how they can get to the contact section, etc. Another priority for me on the front page or my home page is a little blurb about myself. I think it's important for people to know about who I am, because it pours out into my work, being from Hawaii, being queer, etc.
I love that the designer put in buttons, Facebook, Instagram, NPX, Playwrights Realm, and they just go straight to my social media, which is fantastic because the NPX has all the plays, and you can choose to read a section of a play. You can see most of the plays that I'm ready to have people see are right there. And also, one of the things that I think is best about having a website is that people can contact you, and you can choose to be contacted or you can choose not to respond. But often these people are interested in doing your plays, and it's a very valuable tool.
My favorite thing about my website by far is that it is always a conversation starter. I can tell you right now, most of the meetings I have, whether they be with lit managers or directors or ADs, my site will come up as part of the conversation 9 times out of 10, guaranteed. And that means, to me, #1, I'm obviously findable on Google, which is really good. And #2, that it's making an impression on people and that my personality is coming through.
As a multi-hyphenate artist, my website is built to display these different facets. I think it's important to consider how you might want to brand yourself and what you want to prioritize and put out first or up in front as an artist.
My #1 piece of advice, if you're thinking of making your own website as a writer, is plan ahead of time what you want your website to be able to do and what you want it to look like. And that doesn't have to be coding everything yourself. And in fact, I would recommend don't do that. Don't even touch a template yet. Do it all by hand on a piece of paper first. And once you have it all laid out visually in front of you, you'll know what you actually need, and you'll have a better idea of what template is best for you.
You should give something of yourself. Let people know who you are, not only as a playwright, but also as a person. I also like to credit my actors. If you go to the play section, you will see each actor's name is listed before the play, and then you have the pictures. And then I just think that this is a great way for people to be able to get to know you, and especially actors to get to know you, because they can go through and look to see their friends who have worked with you. And not to be too hard, but people may be making decisions on whether they want to work with you or not based on your website. So, put some love into it.